Marines with no upgrades deal 6 damage. But if you give them +3 damage from the engineering bay upgrades, they get +1, +1, +1, which means that they now deal 9. So they get 6 + 3 equals their base damage. Now, base damage minus armor equals actual damage. And armor is calculated by base armor of unit that is attacked plus armor upgrades. So, for example, the Ultralisk has a couple of different armor upgrades. First, it has the carapace upgrades. And then it also has the chitinous plating upgrade. So by default, Ultras have 2 armor. So we're doing Marine versus Ultra. They have 2 armor. Plus 2 for the chitinous plating. Plus 3 for the ground carapace upgrades. Meaning that they have a grand total of 7 armor. Meaning that Marines should technically deal 9 minus 7. So 9 damage minus 7 armor equals 2 damage. So if we check this out, so this is again fully upgraded. So the Ultra is regenning, but you can see it's dropping HP to a hit. Now, if we add Microbial Shroud to the equation, Microbial Shroud should reduce damage from air targets or from ranged targets by 50%. Meaning, yeah, look at this. Meaning that it's supposed to take 1 damage an attack, but it's not. It's taking less than that. So there is a minimum damage that a unit can take, like a global... global minimum damage of 0.5. If you mess with the numbers too much, at some point you would start healing units, which doesn't really make sense with an attack. So there is a global minimum damage of 0.5 rather than 0. And you would imagine that Microbial Shroud would kick in at the very end of this train. So you would imagine that like the 2 realistic damage minus 50%, which is what the Microbial Shroud applies, would be 1. But that doesn't seem to be the case. So you would expect that it's 6 plus 3, right? Which is the Marine. Marine damage. Minus 7. So 2 plus 3 armor, right? Is 9. You would imagine that it gets applied over here, and that this whole thing gets divided by 2. But apparently this over here gets divided by 2. Which means it basically gets down to like 0.5 all the way at the very end. Does this still make sense? So we can do the same thing. Immortal. Unupgraded Immortal. Deals exactly how much damage? They have 50 damage versus armored. Okay, so 50. So in-game. 50 damage versus armored. From each attack upgrade, how much do they get? The Immortals is a little different. They get +5. So they get +3 times 5, right? 65 damage. Ultra armor. Still 7. 7. So you would imagine that for every regular attack without Microbial Shroud, it will deal, what is it? 58 damage, right? So 58 damage, it's expected. We can test this out. Can we do this from max HP? Because otherwise I have to be smart. So it's at 500 right now. Yeah, 58 damage exactly. On the Ultralisk, it was at 442. So that's right. And then if I am indeed correct, the damage, like the way that I would expect it to work is that this number over here gets divided by 2 because of Microbial Shroud, which means that it deals what, 29 damage? But that is apparently not the case. Instead, what it does is that it divides 65 by 2, which is 32.5, minus 7 armor. And I think what it actually deals then in total is, what is it, 24.5? No, 25.5. 500. Microbial Shroud. So it dealt 26.5, or 25.5, yeah. That's pretty crazy. So I didn't think that Microbial Shroud's damage reduction was as significant as it actually turns out to be. I thought the number would just be pooled into 2 parts, right? It would just be halved and that's it. But apparently the damage reduction gets applied earlier on into the calculation. So look, Immortal over here deals 65 damage versus Armored. Ultra over here has 7 armor, meaning that it deals 65 minus 7. That means that it's dealing 58 damage per attack. If we test this in game, there we go. It is exactly 58 damage per attack. Now you would imagine that 58 damage underneath a Microbial Shroud from range, which reduces damage from range targets by 50%, would be halved. So it would be doing 58 divided by 2 is what? 29? 29. Numbers are hard. So you would imagine it deals 29 damage per attack. That is not quite what it does. So if we check over here, again, 1 shot underneath Microbial Shroud, it dealt 25 damage. So I was trying to figure out where the damage comes from and why the number is lower than I expected it to be. So it turns out it's actually dealing 25.5 damage because the damage half gets applied with the base attack of the unit that is attacking rather than at the very end of the calculation. So an Immortal deals 65 damage divided by 2 equals 28.5, right? No. Look, I'm kind of sick, okay? This is hard. 32.5. And then the 32.5, that's where the Microbial Shroud is applied. Then from there, it gets the armor reduction, which means that it deals 25.5. And I expected this to be the case at the very end of the equation, but this is wrong. This is right. And we can double check this as well with Marines. So Marines by default, they have 6 plus 3 damage, right? So 6 damage by default, 3 from the attacks, 9 damage per attack. If we check this out on an Immortal, you will be able to see that it deals 2 damage per attack right now. Yes. So let me actually take a... Well, actually, we don't really need to. Whoa, 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 lads. Calm down, calm down. It was Jimmy's time. So it deals 2 damage per attack. Right? Now the Ultra is passively healing while it is taking damage, which is just on a tick. It takes a little bit. So you would imagine that since it's now dealing 2 damage, 7 armor on Ultra, you would imagine that 9 minus 7 equals 2. Damage gets halved by Microbial Shroud, meaning that it deals 1 damage per attack. But that's not the case, because instead when you attack the Ultralisk underneath Microbial Shroud, it doesn't really take any damage at all. Like, it's healing about as quick as it's taking damage. Now, it is taking damage, but extremely slowly. Like, this would take ages. And the reasoning for it is that the 9 damage gets halved, which is 4.5. And then from the 4.5, the 7 armor gets subtracted. Which means that it's dealing negative amounts of damage, which is not possible in the game because there's a 0.5 damage minimum. Which means that the Microbial Shroud, and this barely ever kicks in StarCraft 2, but the Microbial Shroud is triggering the minimum damage that an Ultralisk can deal. I think Ultraling Bane might not be more viable against Protoss than it ever has been because of Microbial Shroud. I know that's a crazy statement. But Microbial Shroud is basically like a little baby Dark Swarm. And while it's not quite as powerful, it does hit earlier on into the game. Like, the main problem with Ultras dying is usually the Immortal, but the Immortal now deals less than half damage. We've done the math. It now deals 25.5 points of damage per attack, compared to 65. So with Shroud and full upgrades, it deals 65 damage an attack. Without, 25.5. Or with Shroud, rather, it does far less. Less than half. So I wonder how viable a strategy like that would be. I don't know. I'm yapping too much. I'm not macroing. Now, they did change the way that Storm works. Storm now lasts way longer. And it deals a lot of damage over the course of its duration. But Storm is considered spell damage, so that will be fully ignoring any sort of... What is going on here? Oh, what is this? Ugh. Okay. I do not know what's going on. There's a second gateway building. I don't understand. The range of opponents... Like, we've played against people here that are clearly high up on the ladder, and we've played against people that are playing StarCraft 2 for the first time. Okay, not quite that extreme, but... Somebody that's like, hey, let me install StarCraft 2, and they accidentally installed the public test server. All I'm saying is the range of opponents has been kind of wild, but maybe this guy's doing something weird, I don't know. Maybe he's testing out the new Dark Templar blink. Don't judge a Protoss by their base. This is what my grandma always told me. I'm like, well, grandma, their base is kind of terrible. I wonder if I can do like... No.
Crashing out against ads.
Hey, thank you very much. Yeah, have the ads bullied you into submission? Very good, very good. That's what we wanted to hear. See, chat? Bullying... No, what? No. Hold up right now. Bullying bad. But subscribing good. We have learned that bullying is bad, but it does work. It is effective. What are you guys doing? Hey guys. Okay. I would really appreciate it if you guys were to, like, leave some of my units alone. all a little ugly. He's very keen on sniping my my spore crawler. Okay. Makes me a little concerned that maybe he wants to go for Dark Templar, but... I think it's fine. Everything's fine. No need to panic. Okay. Guys, this is weird, but I'm actually really enjoying playing Zerk on the StarCraft 2 ladder today. I know. I know. I don't know how many games against Skytles is gonna take to flip the script, but... at this point... like, I have been sick and I did have fever a few days ago. Maybe the fever is back and I'm hallucinating, but... maybe this isn't even real. Maybe this is a fever dream right now. Chat, is this real? I'm taking the saying up to an extra level. Am I in a coma right now? Honestly, what does it mean for anything to be real anyway? Chat, me, the video game, the universe. Microbial Shroud buffs. They could all be fake. Let me make a couple infestors. There we go. I'm researching Microbial Shroud. What a day. Galileo Figueronos? Really? I thought Galileo's last name was Galilei, but... Queen must know better. I'm doing the dark. Maybe I'm a multiverse actor? Ooh, I didn't consider that part. Yo, do you think Zerglings with Microbial Shroud can fight Adepts with Glaives? I know this is a question many philosophers have pondered over the years. We need to wait. The research is done. It kind of works. Didn't expect it, to be honest. Dude, Shroud OP, man. I'm going double Ultra Cavern so I can get both upgrades at the same time. I do kind of want to get that upgrade too, though, so maybe this is dumb. Okay, bring out the chonkers. You do kind of need a whole load of infestors, though, in order to play Microbial Shroud effectively. Oh, that was not one that I wanted to cancel. Alright. Like, 2 infestors is decent initially, but you do need more. Stupid, sexy Microbial Shroud. God. Getting kinda excited. Is a Microbial Shroud world a world where I want my future daughter to grow up in? I don't know, man. But how much say do I have over it, really? Actually, in this instance, probably quite a lot. Okay, it's time to send in the chompers. Hell yeah. Dude, he trying to force field. Ultras are not giving a crap about any of this. Oh. Mom, can I have a defiler? We have defilers at home. Defilers at home.